Wines and Spirits review. Tonight I'm reviewing a draft beer that I got today from the Crafty Bar and Bottle Shop in Ileston in Nottingham. I think that's the one there. Yes, and this is from Wild Weather. It's a 4.2% sour. Good evening. It's called Damn Dead Blueberry, a blueberry lactose sour, 4.2%. Got it on draft. Part of our Damn Dead, bloody hell, try saying that a few times, fruited lactose sour series, a light-bodied and refreshing blueberry sour that strikes a nice balance between tart and sweet. So that's the colour. Let's get pouring. So yeah, really impressed. Good evening, matey. And we need a drink after last night, don't we? It wasn't the greatest of matches. It was good for Scotland, not good for England, but I don't think the match had the flow to it. And Scotland, you've got to say, they did their own work. Good evening, Craig. From the campsite, fair play there. So, he was buckled. Yeah. Oh, I had the Imperial Stout. Went up the house steaming, absolutely steaming, and so yeah, I was watching Craig's live last night, and I fell asleep, and I woke up in the morning with the phone in the bed next to me, and it was still on Craig's live, although everybody had gone home by that time. So. And this is more for Craig than anyone. Went to this bar and bottle shop today. Six top class craft beers on the bar, on tap. But their bottle shop was something amazing. Some amazing beers. I could have spent hundreds of pounds. I did spend so much on the draft. And then I spent another 46 quid on the cans and bottles that I bought. 30 quid from my son for tomorrow for Father's Day. So I've got beer holes coming out my backside tomorrow. I've got 3 beer holes to do quite early in the morning. One from Black Iris Brewery, one from Morrison's, one from Adventure Beer, 4 even, and one from this Crafty shop, so 4 of them, and that's before I started doing any reviews. So blueberry on the nose, beautiful, smells lovely, fruity nose to this. I've heard that it's not going to be good but the England now need to come second in the group because of who they're going to meet in the next round. Breakfast reviews. I've got to say that some of the beers, Glasshouse, Overtone, Verdant, Deya, Germany. If we play like we did last night, we have no chance against Germany. But if we play like we did the other day, we have a better chance. But I suppose to win, you've got to do as you do, haven't you? You've got to be good. So, lovely looking pour on this. Germany and France to be in the same group, although you do rate Portugal, wow. Cristiano Ronaldo, his swan song would be to win the Euro. I think he could do it. I do. I think they've got a good squad. So there's a little bit of tart on this. Good evening. A little bit of tart, a little bit sour. This to me is a good entry level sour beer. It's just nice. You do get a little bit of each without going too far. And good evening. They just hammered Portugal 4-2. Oh, that's Portugal out of them. I've not been watching any football. I know Hungary, blimey, that gets you when you drink a bit more. Good evening, Thomas. You've added a bit to your name. Irish beer, food and more. Can't fault you there. There's some good food in Ireland. You need to do a poutine review, mate. It won't the greatest of matches, no. And it's dead weird, because I do beer reviews and I get so many people watching. You do a bloody 10 minutes at the end of an England game and I'm on something daft like 440 views, and it's like, it's an England game. And I'm not even, well, I was drinking, but I'm not actually doing a beer review. Strange our YouTube. I suppose it's just random people jumping onto YouTube, onto your onto lives. Yeah. I'm thinking of doing more England streams. Well, yeah, I mean, Southgate, I don't think the English public are that over enamoured with all the kneeing business, rightly or wrongly with the kneeing. Good evening. A flasher's Mac. A big, yeah, I get what you mean, yeah. See enough flashes on the town at the Arboretum. So, really good looking pour, this. My first ever from Wild Weather. So, brand new to me. Don't know anything about the brewery. I will have a look. And obviously I got this in bottle form using my trusty IKEA bottles. These are great. You know, if you've got a pub or a tap room nearby and you just fancy taking some home, a pint or half a pint in one of these, very good. So Wild Weather Ales, if I click on their name, will it tell me anything? Probably not. Oh, it does. A little bit at least. Let me just scroll down. No, it don't. Boom came the sound of the thunder as the rain fell like beads bouncing from the mash tun. Wild Weather Ales was born. It does say show more, so I click that. Oh, it's just outside of Reading. Rightio. Started in 2012. That's funny what you learn, isn't it? So I've got a nice impy stout as well from Verdant for later. And I've got an Alpha Delta and a Pentrich as well. The only thing we're doing a draft beers is basically I've got to neck all these the same night, because otherwise too long. It is. You know, with the, let me just make sure I'm seeing all the comments, because it defaults to top. That's better. Yeah, I was missing a few. Good evening. Yeah, your glass bottles, you just wash them out afterwards. You know, you keep them nice and rinsed. Good evening. And it's a good way of getting your draft, especially if you go into a pub and you don't want to drink too much in the pub, and especially if you're a beer reviewer and don't want to review in the pub. Good evening, Benjamin. And quite a nice sour. Oh. So the more you get into this, no, the drafts in this sort of form really only a day. Yeah, I did. Yeah, it wasn't the greatest, was it? No. Yeah, so in bottle form, I wouldn't go more than a day. I really wouldn't. I've done it. I've done it where I bought 5 before, and I only kept them a day. Yeah, I mean, it was still nice a day, but yeah, for once from low cost beer, he squirts a bit of something in them, and they last for a while. I've got 10 of them in my little fridge, so I'll be doing a lot of draft reviews this following week, just so they don't go too far out of date. Germany are a tournament team, aren't they? They don't genuinely do crap in tournaments. Yeah, the draft beers. If there's a draft beer from low cost that sounds up your street, then it's worth getting. Is there? These aren't in pot bowls, these aren't though. These are in these flip top jobbies. But something that, I mean, pouring it into a pot bottle and adding a bit of CO2, now that'd be something. Might have to get a soda stream. You know, with the soda stream where you squirt a bit in. That might be an idea. Well, maybe it's a little bit too much messing about, but interesting nonetheless. For draft, to keep the draft going a bit longer, put a bit of CO2 into it. So, obviously, a beautiful looking pour. You've had an heavy week. Yeah. I don't know what a light week is. 6-can mystery beer tasting. Is that what you're doing in the bit? And who's that with? 6 cans of mystery beer. Can't fault that. What, they've come in silver, have they? That does sound interesting. Yeah, let's hope they're not crap beers. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want one of them to be twice as nice, especially the older version are twice as nice. So, lovely looking pour to this. It's got that blueberry look about it, I suppose, in some respects. There's a, I don't know, you wouldn't call it a red, but it looks along those lines. Let me just scroll back up. Oh my gosh. In squash bottles, yeah, you can put, you know, as long as you don't overdo it with the sugar for secondary fermentation, yeah, squash bottles are perfectly fine. I mean, I usually use pot bottles, but squash bottles, they've all got a good seal on them. Liam Beers on Instagram, right? Ooh. I never get sent stuff like that. I think the only time I've ever got out off Instagram was from that No Frills Joe. Then again, I haven't really got a big following on Instagram. Does my boating, uploading bloody photos all the time. Or you paid for them, rightio. So the mystery beers that you paid for, God, let's hope they're decent. So impressed by this shop where I went today. It's not far away either. When you're up in Nottingham, or when people are up in Nottingham in October, it's a good bar to go to with a good range of beers on tap and a fantastic bottle shop. Although I've picked up some perlers today, absolute perlers. Spent 120 quid. And yeah, some for 30 quid was Father's Day present for my son. I spent 90 quid alone on beer. So luckily the draft with the cheapest. That was the good side of it, really. The draft. But then again, sometimes to experience good draft, good craft beers on draft, I need to do this thing just to see what they're like. So, my first ever beer from Wild Weather Ales. I'm going to do 3 reviews. I'm going to kill this one off and come back with another 2 reviews. And then later on tonight, before I go to bed, I'm going to review the Impy Stout. Homebrew shops in Leicestershire. I don't, to be honest. It's in Ileston, so it's outside of Nottingham, on the Derbyshire-Nottinghamshire border. But about half-hour bus from Nottingham city centre gets you there, and it's good inside. The bloke's top notch. Good evening, Mr. Beardy, or Brett. Wild Weather. Isn't this the one on the? This is on the main road. This place. Yeah, it's not too far from me. I mean, we drove over and drove back. I didn't have a beer in there. I'm not a massive beer pub person for beers. I prefer to drink in my own company. And also, if I'm doing, I also went to Black Iris Brewery today as well, and that's in an area. It's in the right rough area, but I don't want to walk around there at night drunk. But you do seem to find that a lot of these tap rooms are in right dodgy areas. Liquid Light's the same. It's in the right dodgy area. Did they? Fair play there, matey. So, it's good to get your name in your name out there. Yeah, low rent. Yeah, you can understand that, can't you? I mean, I spent 51 quid at Black Iris. So, got a nice sharing bottle for August, Craig. It's a chocolate orange brewed in collaboration with Brew Cavern in Nottingham. 15 quid for the bottle. 15 quid. Ooh, for a 750 ml bottle. It is, yeah, good real beer. So yeah, blueberry on the nose, blueberry throughout. Starts off quite easy going. The perfect balance of sour and tart, and then the further you get down, it gets more challenging. And but by that time, your palate is used to it. So it's to me, it's one of those beers that introduces you into the world of sours, starting gradually before at the end where you get a wallop of it. Oh, quite the wallop. Enjoyed that. Loving draft beers and loving decent draft beers from big breweries all around the country. Out of 5 for me, I'd give it a good 4.5. I think. Yeah, I think that's a good score for this. And another great draft beer from the Crafty Bar and Bottle Shop in Ileston. The ABV is 4.2%. Serves me correctly. Just flick back. Yeah, 4.2%. Unfiltered, unfined, and vegetarian. Although it does contain gluten for those people. And it's a blueberry lactose sour. So, that's it for this review. That was a really nice beer. Enjoying that. And coming back with an Alpha Delta beer. I don't think, unless I've had it from low cost, I don't think I've had an Alpha Delta beer before. So that'll be interesting. 3 reviews, and because they won't be too long, the reviews. And then I've got to go back up the house and clean and do some home brewing, hopefully. I'm well behind. Back in 2 minutes, all. A Delta variant. Yeah. And luckily I've got the information up there so I can actually know what I'm talking about to a point. Right. Back in 2 minutes, all, for those coming back. Cheers.